if content is king, then how does one go about creating great content for business? Well, in this episode, I answer that question.
Know what it is?
Hello everybody, this is Joe Atang and you're watching episode number 1 of Joe's Marketing Journal. I was looking for one word to describe how I feel about all this. I think it'd be fair for me to say, excited, anxious, nervous a bit, but let me give some brief intro as to what my marketing journal actually is, and then I'll jump right into the subject at hand, which is talking about what I believe to be the 3 core pillars of creating great content for business. So to take a step back, the reason I am starting this journey here is because I believe that one thing you should know about me is in 2011, I found a passion in marketing. And it's weird because I graduated from Houston Baptist University, bachelor's in business marketing. But during that time, I didn't really have much of what I would call my passion now for the subject. I came across one of my mentors, Craig Ward, shout out. And he really started to break down, what marketing actually was in the real world. And that is where I discovered this passion for marketing. And because I have that energy for the subject, I just figured that whatever I'm learning, I'm going to put in my journal. Trust me, I have many more journals than just this one. This one's just attractive, and I thought it'd be good for creating the intro that you just saw, which hopefully you liked. But yeah, whatever I'm learning, I put in this journal for my use, selfishly, to apply. Either these are going to be notes of things that I'm currently using in my business that are working, or things that aren't working that I never want to use again, or they're ideas that I at some point plan on implementing in my business. And because of my personality and because of the way I am, I want to share information out that I feel will benefit the person next to me who's on the same journey. Anyway, that's some background as to how I'm kicking this off. Let's jump right into the topic. Core pillar number 1, respecting the audience and respecting the platform that audience is in. Essentially what this means is how you communicate on Snapchat is very different than how you would communicate on Facebook. And you might be saying, duh, obviously, but you'll be surprised how many people go in without really understanding the context of the platform. The other thing I try to pay attention to is the psychology of a 40-year-old on Pinterest is going to be completely different than the psychology of a 40-year-old on Facebook. On Pinterest, the 40-year-old has an intent to buy, and so they're looking for things that they wish or they're looking to purchase at some time in the future. And so that's more of that, you're trying to create an environment that speaks to that mindset. On Facebook, it's more casual. I'm just trying to keep up with my family, my friends, the community, and I'm trying to get updated on what's going around in the world, whether it be news or different articles that are published. So I want to make sure that whatever I'm posting there, I can communicate and it matches the native language of Facebook. Okay, so core pillar number 1, you want to be essentially native to the platform and communicate to the audience, respect the psychology of the audience within that platform. Core pillar number 2 states that you want to communicate to what the audience is going to deem valuable, not what we feel is valuable. Let me explain. when I'm posting work of what one of our salon professionals in our hair salon back in Houston has posted, which shout out to Innovative Looks. I was trying to throw in a shout out there at some point, but there it goes. I'm not just gonna I'm trying not to focus as much as posting just a before and after picture and say, hey, this is our work, come see us or come see this stylist. I'm trying to contextualize it depending on what platform I'm on to speak to the audience. So for example, if I have a hair dresser who specializes in short fine hair, then when I'm taking picture of her work and I'm posting on the internet, and I know that I'm primarily, marketing to executives who are coming in, or stay-at-home moms, whoever, let's use executives for the example, I'm gonna try to reframe the language of the post, or reframe the post image to speak to that executive. For instance, here are 3 looks any executive with fine short hair can wear to any meeting. Right now, when that woman sees the look, she's like, wow, I always use look number 2, but I've never considered look number 1 or 3, right? And they're engaging with it because they feel like it's more valuable. Let me give you another example, something completely outside of my industry, right? If you're a plumber and you want to sell your plumbing services, I feel like a good approach, one I would take, would be producing content around like photos or even articles describing, the top 5 liquids that you never want to flush down the toilet or down the sink, to be less dramatic. But you get my point, right? You want to speak in their language, speak to something they would feel is valuable. And it's not just about me trying to get my message out there, hoping that people will tag along. I'm trying to do as much creating to get the engagement. Sorry, that took a while to come out, but do you get my point? There's no right or wrong. Trust me, people who are throwing that message out there, they're seeing results, and I think that's great. At the end of the day, what I'm personally looking for is long-term engagement, because I know at some point, if I'm just marketing my business, then a percentage of my audience is going to see me as, oh, all they're doing is trying to get business, versus if I'm now speaking to my audience in a certain way and trying to give them valuable and speak to them, then they see me as a long-term asset. And so I should have called this be an asset versus a commodity. I think that would have been a good title. Core pillar, looking at the time, core pillar number 3, which is the final one, is content is subjective. I think in the beginning you heard me say, if content is king, then how do I produce great content? I think how you produce great content is knowing that content is king, but context is God. So understanding the context, understanding the environment, understanding my audience. Once I get that down and I can speak in their language and speak to a way they feel is valuable, whether it's through an image or through text, then I know that from there on, I just need to get as much information out in front of them and let them be the judge of whether it's valuable or not, instead of me waiting to create the perfect picture or the perfect campaign and limiting my viewership or limiting my visibility, because every time I wait, there's plenty of pictures being posted and plenty of other people getting attention, and I'm missing out on the action because I'm waiting for that one great picture. Versus if I understand my audience, I understand how I want to communicate with them that they feel is valuable, and I continuously post, then I get to stay at the forefront of their mind. Hopefully that makes sense. And I think at the end of the day, really to summarize the core, like here's a bonus tip, here's a bonus mindset to have, and here's what I'm gonna take into all my other videos moving forward, is to have a giving mentality. I wanna give more value than I wanna ask for business. And I think once you have I wanna give more value because I wanna become an asset to my audience, versus I wanna be the person that figures out ways to hack the system and ask for more business, which again, there's no right or wrong. It's just one's more long-term, one's more short-term. I think the more we can start to focus on the long-term, the more longevity we're gonna have in building an ultimate business. And so that pretty much summarizes this episode. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. If you found this to be valuable, let me be very, very frank with you. this was like my fourth take of this. It is what it is. I just want to make sure the message is concise. Your time is valuable. I never want to waste it. In the future, I'm going to hone in on very specific topics. That way I can keep this shorter. This is a little bit extended because I had to give background into why I started this. Plus, the 3 core pillars I felt were the foundation of this journal entry. And so that's why this took so long. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, show me some love, leave me a comment, share this with a friend that you feel needs to hear this. I look forward to creating the next episode. Thank you so much for your time. Talk to you soon. Atang out.